All right.
Terrion Arnold, he has flown up draft boards from his flashes this season, and it now looks like Alabama very well could have two cornerbacks going in the top 30 picks. Arnold had an 84.9 coverage grade, 17th in the FBS, 13 pass breakups. He was targeted 79 times, which was 8th most. He had 10.9 snaps per reception, a 61.2 man coverage grade, and a 65.0 reception percentage in man coverage. He's shown that he can be a playmaker but has struggled to shut down receivers. It seems like people are buying into his traits and projecting him to grow into a star corner at the next level. The question is, how likely is that, and what is his true value at this point? The only way to figure it out is to break down his film trait by trait. Let's start off with athleticism and closing quickness. Lined up an off man against Adonai Mitchell, and the receiver is going to run a deep in route. Worthy is lined up tight to the line, and he's going to run a post. Against this cover one defense, that means the safety is likely going to be occupied by that route, so Mitchell should be open off his break since Arnold has no inside help. That's exactly how the play works out, but Terrion explodes, eliminates the distance, and makes a play on the ball. Really impressive closing quickness. The pass probably should have been thrown sooner, and the receiver could have worked back to the ball, but nonetheless still a remarkable play. Man coverage again, this time he's lined up against Malik Neighbors. Corner flat concept from these two strong side receivers. The DBs are going to switch these two routes. Arnold is a little bit slow to switch, but he makes up for it with his speed as he closes in and lays a big hit on Brian Thomas. On top of being a great athlete, Arnold also flies to the ball and is always willing to tackle. More on that later. Press man snap here. Receiver is going to fake the over route and cut back to the sideline. Arnold shows flashes in press, and because of his speed and change of direction ability, he can stay latched on to receivers. That's what he does in this play. Stays in phase, doesn't overcommit to the top of the route. He shows off the closing speed once again to tighten the passing window on the sideline. Press snap versus the legend Ladd McConkey here. Arnold loses off the snap but stays close to the receiver's hip. He's got some inside help, but look at how quickly he's moving throughout this entire play. It's not like he anticipated and cut off this route. He's chasing McConkey the entire time, but he's just so fast that he can stay close, and then when the ball comes in, he explodes and breaks this play up. Really good snap. Now on to processing concepts. Versus the Aggies here lined up on the X receiver, Texas A&M is going to run deep crossers across the field. With the single high safety here, the routes should get passed off. As soon as the X breaks inside and Arnold spots the opposite over route, he immediately changes direction and clamps onto the receiver. Really good recognition, and then he has the athletic ability to transition and break this pass up. Double post here with an underneath out route. Alabama's playing cover 2 man and are going to do a nice job of passing off routes. With all the traffic in the middle of the field, the QB is looking for the out route from the number 3 receiver, but Arnold passes off his receiver and grabs the underneath route as soon as he sees it, closes the passing lane, and forces the QB to keep it. Ball skills. He shows some legit potential in this area. He got targeted a lot, so he got his reps in with the ball in the air. Soft press versus Ole Miss. The receiver is looking to box him out in the end zone on a jump ball. Arnold stands his ground, shows off his play strength, high points the ball, and deflects it. Another physical snap here. Arnold again uses his hands to establish position. A little bit handsy at the top, which we'll get to later, but he locates the ball well and uses his long arms to get in front of the receiver and force this ball into the turf. Ole Miss tried to throw to his matchup once again. Back shoulder fade. The receiver attempts to push off at the top of the route. Arnold plays through the receiver's eyes, turns around, locates the ball, and has the strength to stay stable and make a play here. Tackling / toughness. Arnold has that dog in him and he gives full effort on every play, no matter the responsibility. On this end around, Alabama fully commits to the initial play action, leaving Arnold on an island with multiple blockers. He has a tight end coming straight at him. He steps up, gets around the blocker, and brings down the ball carrier, saving a touchdown. On the very next play against Texas, QB goes to the flat. Arnold accelerates here to prevent the receiver from getting the first, lowers his shoulder and flies in like a safety. Does well to stop the receiver's momentum. Unfortunately, his teammate did not wrap up. Jet sweep play, another snap where the opposing team is attacking Arnold in the run game. They put a 5'9 receiver as the lead blocker. Terrion easily disposes of him and makes the tackle. Now to the negatives. Technique. Arnold can be over-aggressive in coverage and often opens his hips too early, allowing receivers to bait him in with head fakes. Lined up in off man against Texas, the receiver is running an out to the goal line. Terrion is leaning with his hips, opened inside, clearly telling the receiver which side he is leveraging. He needs to not be so aggressive, stay low, and keep his hips neutral. He could have also been more physical in the route stem. Earlier on in the Texas game, he is up against Worthy one-on-one. As Xavier releases, Arnold opens outside way too early without landing his hands, allows Worthy to easily break inside, and gets Terrion fully turned around. He commits his hips so much to one side that he is forced to fully spin to get back into the play, which is not ideal. He has the physical traits, but he still needs to clean up his footwork and technique. Against Texas A&M, receivers running a go/fade to the corner. Arnold pre-snap knows that he has help inside from the linebacker and safety, so he really needs to focus on stopping anything to the sideline or deep. As the play commences, Arnold is slow to gain depth. Looks like he is sitting on an in-breaking route. His feet get stuck and this receiver blows by him. He recovers well to break this up, but again he is over-aggressive and doesn't trust his technique. Lastly, he can get handsy down the field. 3rd and 7 versus Texas, the Longhorns pull out some trickery, with Worthy throwing a deep ball off the backwards pass. Arnold is in phase down the field, has good positioning, but he grabs Mitchell and doesn't let go, which leads to a pass interference call. He needs to stay calm and not panic in these types of situations, because this wasn't going to be an easy play for the receiver, and Arnold just bailed him out. Again versus Mitchell, this time he has safety help in the middle of the field. Arnold gets beat off the snap. He knows the safety is there with him, but he still decides to grab onto the receiver. Another unnecessary penalty when he was in good position. So overall, Arnold is an interesting prospect. He has solid size, really good athleticism. He has impressive explosiveness and change of direction ability, which allows him to recover and close on routes quickly. He shows flashes in press and man coverage and can be really effective when he stays in phase. He has the play strength to be physical at the line and at the catch point. He's reliable in the run game and shows no hesitancy to get his hands dirty. Arnold plays with high effort. He does struggle with his technique and route anticipation, often opens his hips too early, allowing receivers to blow by him. Down the field, he can get handsy once he's forced to turn his head around and chase a receiver. He's got promising traits, but he's still raw in coverage. He was targeted so often because of this, but Alabama DBs are usually coached up well and make a swift transition to the big league, and even though he's rough around the edges, he still makes a lot of great plays. Because of this, I give him an early 2nd round grade. He's got the tenacity, athleticism, and experience. He just needs to put it all together. Those are my thoughts on Terrion Arnold. Let me know what you think about him in the comments and who you want me to spotlight in the next video. That's all from me, and I'm out.